So we've seen an unbelievably large number of illegal immigrants come in during the Biden-Harris administration. Do you think this is right for America?
I don't think that Republicans think that illegal immigration is a problem right now. We do not have a problem right now with illegal immigration in the United States. We have a problem with asylum seeking, okay? That's the number one, that's a huge thing. But number two, if this was such a huge problem, why were Republicans so content to pull the plug on it when Donald Trump said, I need to leave the border open for me to run on this as an election issue? You know what that tells me? That tells me it was never really a problem in the first place. It was just a talking point.
It's Trump's fault.
Definitionally. Wait, I gotta hear this. Do you understand? Do you agree that Donald Trump was the one that told them to pull the plug on the bill?
He said so.
Well, I don't think...
Wait, do you agree that Donald Trump told them, do not vote yes on this bill?
I can try and answer.
Okay.
I don't think he should have been active in getting that bill pulled, because it would have helped. However, and I want to bring Sarah in on this, you cannot dispute there is a massive crisis at the southern border.
I'm shocked that you say that Republicans don't believe that the influx of illegal aliens across our borders is not a problem.
Why
it is
pull
a
the plug on the
problem.
bill?
It is a problem, and I think it's not just Republicans who recognize that. Look at even the Democrat leaders of cities who are being overrun, their budgets being busted, trying to support the
and they all supported the bill. They supported the bill.
Do you not think blaming Trump for everything though is a bit lame?
I'm talking about cities.
They were ready to vote for the bill, and then Trump said, don't do it.
Let me bring it down.
Cruz, Langford, all these people said we were going to vote for the bill, and then Trump...
All right. Welcome back, my common sense patriots. Well, as we all know, it's already heating up. Today is going to be chaotic. You know, the self-proclaimed debate bro, as he goes full-blown, I'll say, chipmunk on caffeine over on Piers Morgan Uncensored. You've seen the antics. So get ready for some serious cringe, because this dude is about to lose his nuts. Whoa!
So why is it that he may win? After everything that happened in the first term...
Yeah, before he ever talked to a single voter.
Right, but you know, obviously that... But actually, you could chart Trump's recovery was when the Justice Department started going after him in all sorts of different legal actions, and that is when you can see Trump's popularity starting to go up.
I totally disagree. It started to go up when he started to be more active in campaigning.
Well, he went out to defend himself against all the legal charges.
He hasn't defended himself against any legal charge, to be clear. His defense is, I need criminal immunity. That's his defense. There was nothing was defensible. He didn't deny a single thing. He didn't say anything didn't happen. He said, I need criminal immunity from the things I'm being charged with. I can't possibly commit crimes.
Nobody has more aggressively defended themselves against criminal charges than Trump.
Name one defense. What's the defense for the Mar-a-Lago thing? What's the defense for the conspiracy to overturn the election
thing? You're conflating what I mean by defense with your idea of defense.
My idea of defense is like you say, this is why I didn't commit a crime. I did commit a crime and I need immunity. Like immunity by definition legally is not a defense, right?
Trump supporters recognize that it is not Donald J. Trump a person whom is to be supported. It's what he represents. It's all about freedom. It's all about not allowing our country to be fundamentally transformed.
What is the freedom that Donald Trump represents? Is it the freedom to not have an abortion, to have a police officer looking over you when you go to get tested for pregnancy? Is it the freedom to have a president that lives above criminal prosecution? Is it the freedom to have tariffs related to every single product that we might import into the country? What is the freedom?
We'll take one freedom that he is quite adamant about, because the majority of Americans are adamant about, and that's our Second Amendment rights.
I'm sorry, how much anti-gun legislation or executive action did Biden do? And then compare that to Trump. Biden did nothing. Trump banned bump stocks, so that's an auto loss for you. What's the next?
Well, let's talk about Kamala and her position.
Okay.
Are you saying Kamala or are you saying Kamala?
I say Kamala, because I don't see any point in deliberately mispronouncing a name.
Like Trump does every single time he speaks.
Well, I don't want to
Hussein Obama.
Yeah, Hussein, yeah.
And they called him the new Hitler, so all's fair in love and war.
Excuse me, but also, didn't Trump try to accuse Obama of not being born in the United States? Wasn't that his entrance into politics? Again, it's not just what he says, it's what he does. Just asking questions. And even when Arpaio came out with the birth certificate, they said no apology for that.
Okay, so you asked about the freedoms
when you're called a Nazi.
They called Obama a communist for 8 years.
Let me finish my point.
Oh my goodness.
But you're obsessed with this one point. It's all you have. It's really sad.
It's quite a big point, because you're
comparing... It's not because Trump calls Harris a fascist.
Didn't Trump say immigrants were the poisonous to the blood of the nation or whatever?
You're comparing Trump to the most...
The only person I know who's called Trump Hitler is his running mate, J.D. Vance.
And his last general called him a fascist.
Oh yeah, his last general, by the way, his top general said he's a fascist.
These are the people that have worked the closest to him.
His chief of staff says he praised Hitler.
He said he would like to have had the loyalty of Hitler's generals.
That's not true. He said that's not true, Piers. Let's beat some facts. He said,
quote, he said that or not.
Hitler did some good things, is what he said.
Destiny, where are we with this race? The polling suggests that it's a knife edge, too close to call. But if I'm a Democrat looking at the swing state polling in particular, I'm pretty nervous right now.
I think as an American, I'm pretty nervous. It feels like there is just like a totally different standard that both sides can play by. It's really funny listening to the idea that one statement in a 6-hour entire rally, can't be used to convict Trump or his campaign or the rally. Meanwhile, when it comes to Democrats, you guys will pick out like one line from somebody, and that will be fair to characterize their entire speech. They're absolutely not as bad as each other. Because the difference is that while Trump will have
in terms
jokes,
of picking out lines from lengthy speeches, I think both sides play that game equally
yeah, but the
hard.
problem is somebody will pick out, say, the Biden line where he talks about MAGA Americans, and then when you read the speech immediately after, he goes, not all Republicans are MAGA Americans. It's a minority of the party. It's just these people that deny, for instance, the election outcome, right? He'll specify, he'll clarify. Whereas for Trump, you can pick out lines, and these lines are not only consistent with everything else that he says, they're consistent with the policy that he advocates for and tried to pass in government. We're living in two completely and totally separate worlds where the standards for both sides are just out of this world.
Destiny, obviously, it's a pretty consequential election in many ways, but not least, I would argue, for the fate of people in Gaza and Ukraine and other hotspots around the world. Where are we with these? I mean, it's quite interesting to me that for the first time I can remember, you have a body of Republicans who do not want to back, say, Ukraine against a Russian dictator that illegally invaded their country.
Yeah, so the issue is that Donald Trump is a 4-year-old when it comes to understanding any issue, but especially foreign policy. And a lot of people have this, they're obsessed with this idea of peace in their mind, which if you're in conflict, peace is the furthest thing from your mind. You want some kind of just peace or justice, right? So Trump's solution for Ukraine is just give up the land that's been taken from you and everything will be kosher, just like Russia did in Moldova with Transnistria, just like Russia did with South Ossetia, and I can't even pronounce the other place in Georgia, and just like Russia's trying to do now with Ukraine. If you're somebody that wants, justice for Ukraine, and you want the United States to remain a world leader when it comes to, ensuring trade routes or being somebody that the world looks to ensure relative peace and freedom and stability throughout places like Europe, which it has enjoyed historically more in the past 30 years than it had in the 200 years prior to that, Donald Trump obviously is not going to do that for you. If you're somebody who's very concerned about the Israeli-Gaza conflict, I mean, you've got Donald Trump who wholeheartedly, he said it before, will support Israel basically no matter what, with absolutely, no contention whatsoever. You've got a guy who agreed to moving the embassy, who before that was talking about pulling all of the UNRWA funding from the Gaza Strip, who would support Netanyahu through and through. The whole reason why those Abraham Accords started was because Netanyahu wanted to start annexing parts of the West Bank, right? Donald Trump is not going to help any of the Palestinians if that's something that you're concerned about. Insofar as peace in the Middle East, I mean, you've got this talking point over and over again, no new wars, no new wars. Yeah, again, we haven't had any new wars since World War II, right? The war in Iraq was the use of force authorization, the authorization of the use of force. It wasn't technically a war.
Well, it was a war.
But Donald Trump bombed Syria. Donald Trump bombed Syria. That wasn't a war, apparently. Yeah, with no congressional authorization. Iran attacked Saudi Arabia. They did a drone strike on oil refineries. There was conflict all throughout Iraq and Syria. Donald Trump abandoned Kurdish allies in Syria. Donald Trump signed a deal with the Taliban and essentially forfeited Afghanistan. And there was the whole fallout from that. Like, this idea that there was peace in the Middle East under Donald Trump is absolutely ridiculous.
In relation to the one that he's actually been convicted of, I still think it was an absolute farce and a woeful act of self-harm by the Democrats who fueled this to go after Trump first for a bit of paper shuffling over paying a pawn.
Well, you must give it up to Destiny. No, he always deflects all the time, right? And sometimes successfully. And to me, he can't even admit there is a problem when he was talking about the border. I mean, it's classic leftist denial. Is just ingrained in them to just ignore the issues until it goes away or just blame it on Trump. I mean, they are so predictable, as you know by now. It's almost sad, in my personal opinion. But no, this dude said that Republicans support open borders. I mean, the logic around these is mind-blowing. I mean, you just talk about rewriting history. But they didn't win here. Those who write history are the winners. Trump won, and now history is being rewritten from the illusion that we were living under before. At this point, really, like I said, if you don't take this as fun, it will really get you crazy. So just laugh, guys. Really, just laugh. Because just look at this. Piers is dropping some truth bombs here, and Destiny is scrambling for cover, and he's got that deer in the headlights look. You can tell, like he just realized he's in the way over his head. Like just, yeah. Sometimes he drink Red Bull on set. I don't know how that is allowed, but literally it seems he doesn't sleep. It's a pity, man. It's really a pity. No, but this blame Trump for everything, including inflation. When he handed Biden the economy when the inflation was about 1.5%, now it's gone over the roof, and you're blaming Trump. It's unbelievable. Trump's fault. High gas price is Trump's fault now. Who's been in office for the past 4 years, Destiny? Wow, Orange Man bad. I hope it will go away in the next 4 years. Let's see, we'll cover it.
In relation to the one that he's actually been convicted of, I still think it was an absolute farce and a woeful act of self-harm by the Democrats who fueled this to go after Trump first for a bit of paper shuffling over paying a porn star off 18 for a fling 18 years ago, which he denies ever having.
How many months did we have Hillary Clinton's emails being the front and center story for the news? How much did we hear about Hunter Biden and his crack addiction or whatever, who's, by the way, still not running for president?
How can Bill Clinton, when he was actually president of the United States, have sex with an intern in the Oval Office and then lie about it to the American people, and it's not him that gets dragged through a criminal court, it's Trump over a fling with a porn star 18 years ago?
Hold on, and I could be wrong because I'm younger, I'm only 35, okay? My understanding is that Bill Clinton was impeached in the House, and that Bill Clinton was...
But he was never criminally charged.
And then Bill, because he didn't, I don't think he committed necessarily a crime. I think
he paid off Paula Jones $850,000
they're not even
for a sexual
close.
harassment
Bill Clinton
case.
is disgraced.
They're not even close because he's a Democrat.
No. Bill Clinton is disgraced in the Republican Party, and Donald Trump is the hero of the Republican Party. They're not even remotely similar to how the parties treat them.
Yeah, but Bill Clinton's a Democrat, and
this is one about of the time I've not seen. We're doing Bill Clinton now?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I am very much doing Bill Clinton.
Did he overturn an election? Did he send a mob to the Capitol to overturn an election?
I've just told you, I mean, whatever side of this you're on with Trump, it is fascinating that somebody who, you know, many on your side believe is this appalling racist and everything else, that he is increasing support in minority groups. Why
is certain black people and Hispanic people and Asian people and white, we're not fundamentally different. You can appeal to people using certain talking points. Like, I hate that I'm saying this, but like Dave said, I agree that that talking about immigration and inflation, that's a thing that plays to a lot of communities, especially if you're a poor community, especially if you don't have as much money. These are things that are probably hitting you the hardest. Now, the issue where the rubber meets the road is that while Trump will talk about inflation, while Trump was running for president, he ran huge deficits in a great economy. There is no reason for it. At least Biden has an excuse to run deficits. We're coming out of a global pandemic. And Donald Trump's every single policy that Donald Trump is talking about will increase inflation. It's going to. Who do you think? Do you think that I'm going to care if my coffee costs $10 or $15 because of tariffs? It's not going to bother me. It's not going to bother anybody sitting here. It's going to bother the very same communities that are trying to vote for him because they're worried about things like inflation. And the policies themselves don't even make sense, right? What do you think is going to happen when we deport 12 million workers, or when we deport however many people Donald Trump wants to, or when we cut immigration even harder at the border, right? Donald Trump will simultaneously say, we're shipping all of our factories to Mexico because they're making cars down there, but we want to ban all the people from coming to the United States to make the cars. It doesn't make any sense.
But I want it to lose.
Will you be voting Trump?
Absolutely not.
Will you vote for Kamala Harris with great enthusiasm?
Absolutely, 100%. Trump
Really?
is one of the most appalling thing. Yeah, of course. I was promised communism after 8 years of a foreign Kenyan person being in office, Obama, and that didn't happen. I was promised communism, socialism, and all my guns were going to be gone. I lived in Omaha, Nebraska, and every time a Democrat was up for office, you need to come down to Ammo's R Us and buy guns. They're going to take them. It never happened under Biden. The United States economy is outperforming every other economy in the world right now under Biden's policies that ostensibly Harris will continue. She will most likely continue these policies. The idea that Trump, and also the hilarious thing of Kamala's running on nothing, Trump is running on tariffs, and deportation.
You know, sometimes when you roll back these clips and react on them, you really see things, you really think that these people were really, really unhinged back then, and they are still not, they've not still seen the light. I mean, talking about Kamala Harris, the queen of word salad, they're awkward, cackling and laughing. I can't really stand that. But no, this guy is just delusional, right? That she's the most, she's the most trustworthy candidate. No. She is the most unpopular VP that America they have ever seen. If you go back so many years, I mean, even the Democrats are trying to distance themselves from her when before the election, but now even now, so they are really like, I don't want anything to do with her. And Biden, Joe Biden and Jill Biden, they are really pissed with Kamala Harris. She, according to them, she organized a coup d'etat to stop Biden from running. But no, with Destiny, before this, really supporting Kamala to the point of, I mean, he had no option. Like, he couldn't even see through any of the faults that Kamala had. Was just gold. This was just too easy for Piers. He was having a field day, in my personal opinion, with this guy. Destiny melting down, shouting open his eye, you know. Because he cannot handle the heat. He has this erratic behavior. But yeah, that's it for today. The chipmunk on caffeine has just then he officially short-circuited. Destiny got schooled, in my personal opinion, on this one, and it was really glorious back then. We had fun, and I just came across a clip today. I said, let me just visit it and just bring it up to you guys, up to speed, and see what these guys were thinking about. You know, this is what happens when you build your worldview on this whole leftist propaganda and stuff. Taking your points from Twitter. Yeah. Anyway, what did you think about Destiny's meltdown then, and how he's still unhinged after the election? Did Piers really expose him as the unhinged, caffeine-fueled chipmunk that I just labeled? As we all know he was, right? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more epic truth bombs on Black Coffee Podcast. And make sure you share this video to every liberal snowflake you know. They need to see this. Let's wake them up. They're sleeping. They're really sleeping, patriots. We need to get everyone up to speed with the whole common sense narrative. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one. Cheers.